This video is going to detail a siding project we did. The biggest thing when it comes to siding is prep work, like flashing. This house specifically had a very small amount of metal flashing. The caulking wasn't done properly on their existing windows. You can just see right away that there's going to be some challenges here. The biggest thing on a siding project is to create a water barrier so it never leaks. But here you can see where the water has delaminated part of the siding, and this is, you can see it's just bubbling up underneath the siding. You can see in this picture that the brick flashing really only comes about 1.5 inches from the wall. You can see holes and cracking. Water is literally going into that wall right there behind the brick. This is our new flashing. This is an example we showed this homeowner when we first came out. We left their original flashing and you can see that it is completely covered by ours. Theirs is about half of the depth of ours. Ours extends out another 2 inches, and it's the same color as the siding. When we do every project, we have accessories. This includes things like water spigots, dryer vents, light mounts. Anything that goes through the siding for electrical or water, we make a nice new mount for it. And most of the time we're able to put an actual mount behind the water spigot or light. For this project, some of these water spigots we couldn't pull out from the wall. In this case, what we do is we actually build our own accessory mount. And this way we can slide right into this channel so that you avoid the rough edge of the new siding. We do something that most companies don't do. We actually create what's called a freeze wrap for this piece of metal that goes around the bottom of the house. If you were able to get underneath and look upwards, what you would see is that this forms a barrier at the bottom and it just keeps everything out. Bugs can't get into it, wind and rain stay out, and this freeze wrap barrier that we build diverts all of that away. This customer decided to go with a Premium Pointe vinyl siding. The customer had their windows already replaced and wanted to improve the energy efficiency of the actual walls of the house without having to do some kind of expensive blown-in insulation into the wall cavity. So what we did is basically lay this polar wall all around the house. This adds an R value to the wall of an additional 7 points. If you consider that this house in particular had a 2x4 construction, the home was probably had like an R value of R11. Adding an additional 7 R values to that almost doubles the efficiency of the home. We'll save money on heating, cooling, and make the house altogether more efficient. So once the freeze wrap is installed, we install a starter strip. The starter strip is the aluminum piece where we start the siding panel. We attach the first piece of siding that goes on the wall to the bottom edge of the starter strip, and this is all nailed into the freeze wrap. You can see this is a dryer vent here. Basically everything around the house has channeling, so what this means is that in addition to all the windows, all the lights, any sort of hose, bib, or attachment, anything that goes through the wall, we attach a new accessory mount to it, and this creates another water barrier. The biggest thing is that when water comes down this wall, there's a flange that prevents water from ever getting back into the home. Every window and door that we side around, we install a J-channel before we complete the siding. This J-channel hides the rough edge of the siding and creates a miniature rain gutter that goes all the way around all of the openings. This channels water away in an additional way from the house and keeps the vinyl siding nice. This J-channel is around an electrical box. One of the concerns for many of our customers is how we would work around something like a pipe or an electrical box outside of the house. So what we do is we lay the same color siding that we're installing and put aluminum material behind the pipe and then channel around it. So that way all of the color flows all the way through and it creates a water and windproof barrier around a pipe like this. All of our siding has a nailing fin for attaching it to the house, but most of the time we actually use a panhead screw to attach to our mounts. If we do have to use a nail, we use a 2.5 inch rib shank nail. We put everything right to the studs. The benefit of that is that it just keeps everything held tight to the house. The biggest key in any siding project is to keep things held tight to the house. It creates a lot better install in the project. So for this project, this is a Premium Pointe premium grade vinyl siding, has a lifetime warranty, and the flashing goes up about halfway on the first panel, and then any water that comes to the front of it just runs off the face of the brick. This customer also decided to add a little bit of a custom look. We installed new louvered shutters that are custom fit to any type of window. We can custom size these, and they're non-functional shutters in this case, but a lot of people do them because it does add a nice little touch on the front. She wanted a black shutter because it matched her new door. She'd put a new security door on the front, and we think this turned out really nice. It all just matches really well together. You can see here where we put a nice new accessory mount behind the light. A lot of times we do these in white. It's a nice highlight to the wall. Looking at the side of the house, this project consisted of 16-foot length siding panel, and the benefit of using this length of siding panel is that it limits the seams on the house by about 33%. A lot of siding will come in 12-foot lengths, and basically that puts more seams into the wall, but we usually, whenever possible, work with a 16-foot length. On the back side of the house, you can see we have all new mounts on all of the accessories. When we do our siding, we actually map it out so that we side over the top of the existing wires, so that way you don't see them. You can see an example here of an electrical outlet on the side of the house. It's done so that you don't see the rough edge that goes around it with the siding. And basically we've built a little J channel so that water runs down the wall and it runs to either side of this mount. This is a zoomed in part on the pipe to the electrical box. The only thing the homeowner might want to do here is actually just paint it to match the siding. Here's an example where we wrapped the exterior door in a light aluminum coil. We put head flashing as another step so that any area where there could be potential water or rain or wind issues has been flashed to keep the water out. Once again, you don't see the seams when we do this because we build it in such a way that you don't see them. And sometimes around the house you'll see that there are original foundation vents. These are vents that actually vent underneath the side of the house. Normally they're aluminum. So we always replace those with a new vent. This is a larger accessory mount, and it's just nice because it's maintenance free. You never have to paint it. For us, probably 2/3 of any siding job is we create barriers to make sure that water never gets back to the original wall. This is something we do that maybe a lot of other companies don't do. We spend a lot of time just making sure everything gets properly prepared. We take a lot more time, and we feel we provide more of a long-term solution. So you can see the conclusion here of the before and after, and we think this house turned out really nice. We're really pleased with how it turned out, and if we can be of any service to you for any siding project or any of your home window siding or door projects, please do give us a call, even just with any questions, and we'll be happy to be of service.